Hey everybody, it's Jimmy from the DIY and Digital, and I wanted to do a little update on the Arduino grade crossing that we did earlier this week. If you haven't watched that video, here's a link to that, and there's also one in the description below. You guys have been awesome in offering suggestions on how to improve the code to make the grade crossing work better. And I have to give a big shout out to YouTube user LARSSON. He had a few great suggestions that made the crossing work a lot better. Before I get to that, I just want to say I crossed 300 subscribers this week, and I want to say thank you guys so much. We are having that 500 subscriber contest, and I want to give you all a little bit more information on that. I will be giving away 2 prizes in this 500 subscriber contest. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit that like button and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any updates, including ones on that contest. Next week we'll be doing a DCC++ base station build, and then the following week I'm starting a new recurring series, what can $5 get for your model railroad? And you're not going to want to miss that, so go and hit that subscribe button so that you're also eligible for the 500 subscriber contest. So what we're doing here is we're doing a little modification to say, let's say that your train entered the crossing zone but had to back out or exit the crossing zone. That's one thing that I'd actually struggled on figuring out how to write. And YouTube user LARSSON, who I will put a subscription link right here, had some great suggestions, and we were actually able to figure out the exact way to make this happen. So let's go ahead and go through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another integer right here. We're going to do int flash count. Now that's not some weird Arduino code word. That is just, we're saying count the number of flashes. We're using that to say we're counting the number of flashes that the signal goes through. So we're saying flash count equals 0, and that means that our flash count is always going to start at 0. So we need to put that there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a 5th crossing state. So we're going to call that flashing 4, and we'll work on that a little bit later on in this video. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and slip down into the initial loop, and the one thing that we need to do here is we need to add that 4th crossing state. So we're going to do case st underscore flashing 4, and that's the one that we added right up here, colon crossing flashing 4, and that's going to be taking value A1 and value A2. Semicolon, and then put your break right there. Okay, so we can go ahead and skip down into the crossing off state. So let's skip over to that. I have my notes right in front of me here. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to put a delay right here of 0.2 of a second. And then we're going to do a flash count equals 0. And what that does is it initializes the flash count. So pretty much what that'll do is every time we go back to crossing off, it's going to reset the flash count to 0. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to go down to flashing 1. Now, what we need to do here is we need to add something right here. We're going to add flash count plus plus, semicolon. So what that does is every time it cycles through one of these, it's going to add 1 to the flash count. So it starts at 0, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 every time it cycles through. The reason that we're doing that is that we are going to add another place that this signal can go. So we are going to add else if value A1 is greater than 500 and value A2 is greater than 500 and flash count is greater than 5, then we're going to put a bracket, and we're going to say that the crossing state equals st underscore flashing 4. So what that's going to do is flashing 4 keeps the signal flashing even when there's nothing on the sensors or anything like that. But what it does is, rather than waiting for the other sensor only to be tripped, it makes it to where, let's say a train is sitting in between the two sensors and decides to back out over the sensor it went over to begin, it resets it to where either one of the sensors can send it over to flashing 3, which is the final flashing state before the crossing turns back off. And that'll make a little bit more sense here in a minute. So we'll go ahead and put that note right here. Alright, so we need to do the same thing for flashing 2. So we're going to go ahead and put flash count plus plus, and then for time's sake I'm just going to copy paste, since it's pretty much, it is exactly the same. Alright, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to create a new crossing state. And since pretty much everything is the same, I'm going to copy paste flashing 3 and do a few minor changes. I'm going to add the flash count right here, and I'll show you why I'm doing that on flashing 4 here. Alright, so here we needed to make a big change. Now, I have not used this command before. It's the OR command. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit the OR is these two bars right here, and if you've never seen that before, that is when you have the backslash button. If you hold shift and hit the backslash button, that gives you those vertical bars, and that's just above the enter key in the main portion of the keyboard. So what this is going to say is, if value A1 is less than 500 or value A2 is less than 500, we want this to go to flashing 3. So what that is let's just trace it through. So flashing 1 has been activated, which means that one of the sensors has been activated. And if the train just runs straight through and trips the other sensor, it's going to go straight to flashing 3. But if the train dilly-dallies and kind of goes slowly through the crossing area, it's going to keep checking. And when neither one of the sensors are covered, or the values are greater than 500, and you've been through 5 cycles of the flashing signal, it's going to go to flashing 4. So let's hop to flashing 4. So flashing 4 is a continual flashing, and it keeps on adding up the flash count. And then it goes to if value A1 is less than 500 or value A2 is less than 500, which means that either this sensor is tripped or this sensor is tripped, it'll go to flashing 3. Now we're almost done here. I want to do one more thing that keeps the program from doing an infinite loop. So we're going to do else if flash count equals or is greater than 120, and then we're going to put another bracket. We're going to say crossing state equals st underscore off. Okay, so what that is basically if the flash count gets up to 120, which would be 120 seconds or 2 minutes because each flash signal is 1 second, and nothing has happened, nothing's changed, it's going to just revert back to its off state. So this way you don't get stuck in an infinite loop. And I'm going to put that note right here. Alright, so those are the modifications that you will need to make to the crossing signal program in order to tweak it to where a train can enter and then back out the same way, or to keep it from getting stuck in an infinite loop in case the sensors malfunction. So let's double check and see if it works. And it works, so you can load this onto your Arduino and it should do the modifications and it should work the same way as before. So thank you guys so much for watching this update. A reminder, the 500 subscriber contest is going on, so you'll definitely want to subscribe for that if you haven't already. Next Monday is going to be our DCC++ base station build, so you're also not going to want to miss that. Plus in 2 weeks we have the What Can $5 Get You for Your Model Railroad series starting up. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Happy railroading.